morning and welcome back to the vlog. If you are new here, this is your first time stumbling on one of my videos, welcome. I'm Taylor. I do a lot of reading and bookish vlogs, productivity vlogs, self-care vlogs, just sharing life in my 30s with you guys. If that is your sort of thing, be sure you stick around and subscribe. It is June 25th and I am determined to finish my June TBR. And if I do, this will be the most books that I've ever read in a month. So I'll definitely probably do like a June wrap-up video. That's just me chatting about the books that I read in June, because I feel like they are so worth sharing in one compilation. But let's chat about the books that I'm going to be trying to finish. So if you watched my last bookish vlog, I'll tag it up here for you guys. I started The Conditions of Will by Jessahastings, and I was going to pause it to read a book club book called Mars 1. And honestly, after contemplating it yesterday, I closed out the vlog, I think the day before yesterday. Trying to think. Yeah, I closed out the vlog like the day before yesterday. Well, yesterday I was like, dang, do I even want to read this book? Honestly, no, I don't want to read this book, so I'm not going to read this book. So I like science fiction, I really do. I probably enjoy watching science fiction more, so I'm just not going to read that book. I am, however, very, very into this book, and I have some other books that I really want to read this month, so I just feel like I'm going to prioritize those and show up to book club and just see what everybody else has to chat about. So it's only our second meeting, and I think a lot of people were kind of like, about the pick for the month, so I'm not going to feel too guilty. But I am eating this up. I'm on chapter 30, so page 220. I'm literally eating it up. I'm blown away by Jessahastings. I will probably immediately be picking up the Magnolia Park series after this, because I can see why everybody is absolutely addicted to her writing. This book is special. It is triggering a lot of things in me though, like just it makes me angry a lot of the times. I literally want to jump into the story and just punch a few people here. Like, I literally was making breakfast this morning. I was like, say it, just like screaming in the kitchen. Like, I'm so into this book. I'm so excited to see where it goes. I'm 220 pages in and there is still a huge plot line that hasn't even begun yet. If you don't know anything about this book, it follows a female named Georgia. She is from South Carolina. Her family is super religious, super stereotypical, like cares what everybody else thinks, hates on everybody that is different. Like, need I say more? Okay? Need I say more? And she's just completely detached from her family, but her dad has passed away, so she's going back to go to the funeral, and she is studying to become, and I think she may already be, a professional lie detector. So that's really cool. So she's able to tell what everybody is really thinking, like if they're lying, how they're feeling, just by reading their facial expressions. So it's really neat. So while she's there with her family, there are some things that come up from the past, and she's trying to process all of that. She's trying to process these really complicated sibling relationships, mother-daughter relationship, just being back in this house that she traumatically left when she was younger, being back in this town that she doesn't want to be in. Like, we are just experiencing this entire thing with her. And there is going to be a whole entire twist. This is in the description of the book. I'm not spoiling anything for you, about something that is in her father's will. And I haven't even gotten there yet. I'm so excited. I'm going to continue this one, hopefully finish this one by tomorrow. And then I'm going to read the Into the Darkness duology. And I don't know if this is a duology or if there's going to be more books. Let me know if you know in the comments, but I'm excited for these. I actually have the audiobooks checked out at Libby and I only have 7 days left, and I don't know how I got lucky to get them all like upon immediate request the day that Caught Up came out, but I'm not going to squander that. So I have just enough time to start and finish these in June. Everyone has said listen to the audio of Lights Out, and I usually do. Like today, while I've been kind of getting dressed and making breakfast, I was listening to the audio of The Conditions of Will. Like, I always try and listen to the audio, and it helps me just to get more reading done. So I have 5 days to finish The Conditions of Will and read both of these, and I know I'm gonna eat these up. Every single person that has read them has loved them. After I read, I can't remember what the series is called, but it's like the Butcher and Blackbird series. I love that one so much, and everyone says if you loved that series, then you're going to love Lights Out and Caught Up, so I'm very excited. I feel like it's going to be an awesome ending to June, but alas, I have chatted long enough. Let's get into some reading. It's the next afternoon and I am almost done with The Conditions of Will. I've been out working this morning, just driving around to see some patients and listening to the audiobook. I'm officially on chapter 53, so like less than 100 pages for sure, maybe 80 pages or something like that. I am eating it up. The twist already happened. I was like, where in the hell is this going? I had some ideas. I was like, okay, it's this or it's this. And then I was like, or it's this. And sure enough, it was. And I'm like, ooh, that is a very good twist. I'm a little bit annoyed right now with the main character. I'm a little bit annoyed with her sibling. I've been a little bit annoyed with her sibling. And as somebody who is one of 5 siblings, like I feel like there's a lot of very relatable dynamics in this book. But anywho, it is very, very good. I have 2 hours until I have to pick back up at work. So let's go inside, get cozy, make a yummy drink. I don't know if I want like a Diet Coke or like a Diet Sprite with like some berries in it, or a matcha or a decaf latte. Like, I don't know what I want. Let's go in, let's make a drink, and let's finish this book.
So I resort to my go-to. Wow.
Alright, I have 20 minutes before I have to go to work, and I have 25 pages, so let's see if I can finish it. Honestly, the way I want to jump into this book and like just wring some of these characters' necks, like wow, just wow. I'm really curious how it's going to end. There's a lot of sibling stuff, and as like as a sibling of such a big family, like it's a little like triggering, so I'm like, oh my gosh. But very good. So let's see if we can finish it. I think I expected something like this. All right, I didn't make it. I have to go to work, and I'm on chapter 62, so I think I have literally 1 chapter left and then the epilogue. So I will hop back on and finish this, and then later on tonight or tomorrow I'll be starting Lights Out, and I'm very excited for that one too. Very, very good. I have said it a million times this vlog. I will be reading more Jessahastings. I feel like I'm gonna literally go possibly order Magnolia Parks right now. The sibling dynamics, the just relationships here, I didn't know where this book was going. I honestly had no idea how the hell this was gonna end. Beautiful love letter to like siblinghood, and just like the complications in that. It just makes me think, because I have so many siblings and my husband doesn't. He's an only child, and we often talk about the dynamics of that, and like he's like, I don't understand, like I'll never understand the way you guys can ebb and flow, and like yeah, we, you know, it brought so much up. I'm definitely going to be going through and putting some tabs in this book and revisiting it in the future. It was very good to read. I'm glad that I put off that book club book and I just went for this, and my heart is happy. And it is seriously one of the most beautiful books that I have, and I've just been staring at the artwork, and like it all makes so much sense to me now. So really, really cool artwork here. Little details on like the chapters, like each chapter there's like this little ring around the number, and it's a bunch of pennies, and I won't give anything away, but you know, it all makes sense. Just the artwork it's beautiful and it all makes sense. So great book. OMG. I feel like it's Friday and it's not Friday, which makes me really sad because I just want it to be Friday. But we are moving on to Lights Out. I have my I'm in my smut era bookmark. This is another one from Gigi and Bo. Lights Out is a dark stalker rom-com with heavy themes. Reader discretion is advised. Yeah, people have recommended listen to the audio of this if you can, so I do have it on Libby, but if you have Spotify Premium, some people don't know this, but you get 15 hours of listening included with your Spotify Premium membership, so that is what I use as well, and I use my husband's, so I get like 30 hours of listening a month, and then I have my library card through Libby, so that's helpful. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm gonna get started on it.
Her voice muffled when she groaned out.
Oh my fucking god.
I leaned back in my chair and waited, wondering what she'd do with the...
Okay, it is quite literally Tuesday, July 1st. I need to update you guys. I feel like this vlog started off super strong and I was so excited to finish my TBR for June. And I'm happy to report that I basically did. However, the end of June was just not very kind to me and I ended up getting not a severe case of food poisoning this weekend. It could have been worse, but definitely some food upset after book club. So was just up all night sick and that was a lot of fun. So Saturday was recovery and really Sunday was recovery as well. We didn't even leave the house all weekend. I did do some reading and I did finish Lights Out, so I'll update you guys on that, but I did not get to finish Caught Up. I started it. I'm only about 20% of the way through and I have made some discoveries about myself. So let me update you guys on that. And then I decided I'll end out this vlog doing a July TBR. So I just think that that will be a lot of fun and it's like perfect timing because this vlog will go up tomorrow. So Lights Out. I enjoyed the banter. Josh grew on me. I liked Allie. There was nothing about either of the characters that, you know, I didn't like. I feel like Josh did give off some golden retriever energy, which was fun. However, I think I've discovered that I'm probably not a dark romance girly, which is fine. Don't come at me. But I'm not so interested necessarily in the components that make it a dark romance. I will say that I did enjoy the Ruinous Love trilogy so much, and if you're not familiar with that one, that's Butcher and Blackbird, Scythe and Sparrow, and Leather and Lark. And I feel like that's the only thing I can compare it to because that's the only other dark romance series that I've read. So I'm super new. I'll continue to read a few dark romances. Like there are some on my TBR that I will read, but I just think ultimately I'm probably not the person that's going to like jump at dark romances. I do enjoy the concept of people clearing out bad people, and that's all. That's really all I'm going to say about that. I think it's fun. I feel like it just taps into a dark side of like human nature, and I just think that that's fun to explore in a book. The banter was a lot of fun. If I did not say that already, I can see why people really do enjoy the book. It had a nice little twist in there that I wasn't expecting. For sure, the first 50 pages, I was like, I don't know, is this for me? I don't know if I want to read this. Like, is this for me? I don't know. But then by like page 100, I was like, this is fun. Okay. And by the end, I was like, okay, fun. I read it, but definitely not going to be like, oh my gosh, like Lights Out was one of my favorites. Versus like, I would reread the Ruinous Love trilogy. I love that. Not to compare and say like read that one, don't read this one, but that's the only thing that I like have to compare it to. So anyway, you get my gist. It was good. Enjoyed it. I don't star rate things, but if you enjoy dark romance, you like banter, you like the concept of getting rid of bad people, this will probably be for you. Now, I have heard a lot of people say that they did not enjoy Caught Up as much as the first, but I tend really not to listen to, you know, too much of people's kind of back and forth about books. Like, I'll pick it up if I think it's going to be good. I'm enjoying it so far to the same degree. There's perspectives in books like this that I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it kind of makes you think like, how do I feel about that? What is that? So it's definitely interesting and it's thought-provoking in that sense. I do feel surprised at the characters that this one's following. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I have it on Libby until 10 p.m. tonight. So I'll just be kind of listening to it throughout the day while I get caught up on some chores because today's the first day that I officially feel like a human again. Yay, we're going to bring in July with a lot of joy and a lot of good health. That's the vibe. So I'll finish this one and obviously this is what I'm starting July off off with. But I have to say, I'm also not like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to read caught up. Like I got to read it. I'm literally going to read it because I have the audio until 10:30 tonight, and I probably will not be able to get that back on Libby for months. So I'm going to try and read it. But other than that, let's get into my July TBR because I'm very excited for what I have lined up this month. Okay, so besides having started caught up, I started Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundell. This has been a much anticipated book for me. Honestly, it's just something that I stumbled across at Barnes and Noble. I thought it was beautiful. I love a good children's lit book. I just couldn't resist. Let me take the sleeve off and show you guys how absolutely stunning this book is. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's stunning. Then there's a map on the inside. There's also just really beautiful illustrations throughout the book. I sat up and read about 12 pages last night, and then I slept like a baby. I felt like it was just good vibes. So excited for this one. This has really, really amazing reviews, and it's going to be a series. So I'm looking forward to just having something fun. It's just giving me like, oh, I'm 11 again and reading Harry Potter. You know, it's just a good vibe. So very excited for this one. I think I'll eat this one up like in a couple of days. And then Andrew and I are going to do a 24-hour readathon for July 4th. I can't actually believe it's been a year since we did our last 24-hour readathon. If you have been following me on TikTok, then you have seen that short. I literally can't believe it's been a year. So we were talking about it at dinner last night. We were like, what the heck? It's been a year. So we're going to do the same thing this weekend. We do not just stay up for 24 hours because I simply cannot do that. We will be starting the timer and doing like 2 12-hour days. So our days off are staggered. So he's off Friday and Saturday, and I'm off Saturday and Sunday. So that makes it a little bit difficult. But we will try and do probably 8, 8, and 8, to be honest, because I have to work Friday and he has to work Sunday. But we're going to figure it out. It'll still be fun. I'll vlog the whole thing. I'm thinking I'm going to eat up the summer. I turned pretty for that. I'm so excited. I did a little poll over on my Instagram for what series should I read in July, and this one won by a long shot. So I'll be reading this and then jumping into the TV show, which I love that feeling when you're reading a series or a book and you're like, oh my gosh, now I can watch the movie or watch the TV show right after. Yes, that is the vibe. So this, and then if I have time, depending how the reading goes, I might read something that's not on my TBR for this month, but just for like the sake of the 24-hour readathon and a little bit of nostalgia, because last year we read A Frida McFadden together. So I might do The Tenant. And especially since they're available on KU, it's just easy to access, so I might do that. We will see, but these are going to be the priority for that. And then I will be immediately jumping into Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. This is one of my most anticipated reads for the summer. This is also my July book club pick with my cousins, and we actually had to put off our meeting this past weekend, which I'm literally so sad. I like shed a tear on Saturday. I was so sad. I ordered a cake for us. I had like an entire romanticized dinner planned, and that had to get pushed off. And with the holiday this weekend, we have to push it off another weekend. So we're going to do that next weekend. It'll still be a lovely Italian themed dinner. I'll vlog that for you guys, but we're also going to chat Promise Me Sunshine. So I do have to finish this one by next weekend. I have not heard one person say that this book was not good, and my cousin's like wanting to read everything by Cara Bastone now, so I know it's good. Okay, and then the other book that I need to read for book club, which is my choir book club, and it's actually my pick. So my name was drawn on Friday for the July pick, and I'm very excited. I was torn between The Measure and The Wedding People, but I already have this one on my shelf, so I went with The Wedding People. I hear this is a really great book club pick. There are some triggers in here, so just be sure to check your trigger warnings, but I have heard nothing but good things. I'm excited for this. I don't need to read this one until near the end of the month though, so this is not going to be something I'm rushing to get to, but I'm very, very excited to read this one. And then I simply just cannot put this off any longer. Like, I simply cannot. Right after Promise Me Sunshine, we're going to go into Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm so excited for this. This is actually my husband's book. My husband pre-ordered this. It's his most anticipated read of the year. So he's going to read it first. He's going to start his July off with this, and then I'm going to read it. We'll see. I don't know. I might get to it before him, honestly, but I wanted to let him have his moment first. I will have to be very, very quiet. I'm definitely somebody who's reading when I'm near him. Like, my emotions come out. I giggle, I cry, I scream. So I don't want to ruin anything for him, but I'm so excited for this one. Okay, and then this is where things just get a little sticky. Like, I don't know. I'm itching to read a fantasy. It's so hard with fantasy though, because I like fantasy, but ultimately I'm learning about myself that I'm more of a romance girl, and like a contemporary romance, a cozy romance, something's gonna make me cry, you know, something that's just good. But I do like romance. It's just hard because it's always a series, and I'm like, God damn, I just want to read a whole 20 million book series. And then I hate when it's like, okay, if I read this book and then I have to wait for the next book to come out, by the time it comes out, am I going to remember the details, or am I going to want to reread it? Because if I'm going to want to reread it, what the heck is the point? I'll just wait until all the books are out. Am I the only one that feels that way? Let me know. But these are some other contenders. I have been wanting to read something by Carly Fortune. We are in fact going to the beach in August, and for that weekend I will be taking some of her other works. I will not mention those. I will save that for that vlog, but I will be taking some of her other works. If you know, you know. So I'm thinking I want to read this one. This is actually a signed copy that Andrew found for me at Barnes last year, and I have not read anything by her. So I'm thinking maybe the summer will be different, but then I also have Ashley Poston's new book, Sounds Like Love. I've decided Ashley Poston's books are not ones that I want to audio. I've made the mistake in audioing The 7-Year Slip and A Novel Love Story last year. I also read A Novel Love Story during our 24-hour readathon, and I read it, listened to it, read it, listened to it. And I think her books I just need to read and take my time with, because I think maybe some of the magic has been stolen from me. Sometimes audios do that. I don't know. So I'm going to go back and give her other books a reread, because how in the world is everybody saying The 7-Year Slip is their favorite book ever? And I'm like, that book didn't stay with me at all. What the heck? So I'm like, do I read Sounds Like Love? I don't know. And then there's Allie Hazelwood's Problematic Summer Romance. I could save this for August though, kind of round out the summer with it. I don't know. So these are the ones that are contenders so far on the table I'm looking at right now. I've caught up in Impossible Creatures, that's 2. Then the series for this weekend, that's 5. And then the 2 book of picks is 7. And then Atmosphere is 8. I average about 6 to 7 books a month. So I'm already crossing that. So again, these are contenders. We will see. I also just want to leave some space for mood reading as well. Some series I'm itching to start. The Boys of Tommen. I don't know. I'm itching to start that series. I've got to read something by Elsie Silver. Like, how have I not read anything by Elsie Silver? So that's another one. I'm looking at my Kindle right now. I've been wanting to read Shield of Sparrows, but I don't even know if that's a one-off or if that's going to be a series. Because if it's a series, do I want to read it? I don't know. So these are just some I'm thinking about. Again, Frida's The Tenant. Frida just does exactly what she needs to do. Andrew and I were talking about this at dinner last night too. Like, she's just a little fun bite of thrill. You know, it's nothing you're going to write home about, but it does its job, you know? And I appreciate that. I also want to read that series by Liz Tom Ford, Mile High. Well, y'all know which one I'm talking about. Like Rewind It Back, those ones. I want to read that series. So I don't know. There's a lot of things we'll see. I've been also wanting to read Phantasma and Enchantra. I'm not sure how. I've heard people say it both ways. And then like for some reason I'm itching. I picked up my phone because I took some screenshots. For some reason I'm itching to start the Zodiac Academy. I don't know. That's so random. I've heard Blood and Betrayals is good, but that's a 1,000-page book. So I don't know. That's where my mind is, right? That's why I have to leave space for mood reading. But that's my TBR for July. I feel really excited about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I honestly don't even know how it's going to turn out. Maybe a little bit chaotic, but as always, I appreciate you guys for being here. I'm going to film a little sit down June wrap up just because I haven't done a little sit down video in a while, and I think that will be fun. I think this past June is the most books that I've ever read in a month. I think my highest has been 7 in the past, and this was 8. So I think a little sit down video will be fun. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.